What is up, Digidestins? This is Vindy Swartz, and I'm coming to you guys with the deck profile for Virus Imperial. I've had a lot of people ask me over the last few months, dude, what's that list looking like? You have a lot of suggestions that seem pretty interesting, and I want to know what you're running, so let's get into this list. If you like the video, Supreme Cannon that like button, Transcendent Sword that subscribe button, and let's get digital. First, I'm going to start off with my eggs. I'm playing 4 copies of Digimon from BT10. This guy is just really good because for one wall, you have a non-red source in your Digivolution source. You'll gain 1k for DP. This is really good. I like this guy over the purple version of this deck. I just feel like red is a lot better for aggro. If you're going purple, it's very inconsistent on what you mill, and I'm not really a big fan of that. I am trying to consider what I mill and make it to where it's very precise, and I feel like there's better ways to mill cards. And if you haven't noticed, red has a really good mill engine, but I'll get into that later in the video. But anyway, with this Digimon, I feel like it was a lot better than the other one. This guy helps you see those numbers that you need in order to just swing into Digimon and delete them. One of the main problems you have with this deck is if your opponent builds these 1-stack decks, you can't just use your AoE effect with Imperialdramon mode in order to just delete them. You would either have to parry with them and retaliate against them in order to delete them, but instead of doing that, we're playing the Digimon. This guy is just really good, gaining that 1k DP for the threshold that we need. Him combined with the Vmon gives you 3k DP, and it'll make your fighter modes end up being 18k so that you can swing over anything without any problems. For the rookies, I'm playing 4 copies of the Vmon from EX3. You gotta play this guy. This guy is the bread and butter of the deck. Him and Wormmon go hand in hand. This guy reads on play. You can trash 1 card with Imperial or free in its traits from your hand to draw 2 cards. It's really good for helping us dig into our deck and helping us grab those combo pieces and trashing the ones that we need to be in the trash. Next, we're running 4 copies of his best friend, Wormmon. Wormy Boy is really good because you can reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and you can choose to either add to hand or trash 1 red or purple card or a card with Imperial in its name from among them, and then you can place the rest to the bottom of the deck. This is really good and it comes in handy. Sometimes all you can do is just add the top card and it's busted. Wormmon is just a really good card because he has that inheritable skill of giving your Digimon retaliation, and it comes up sometimes. And for the rest of my rookies, I'm not playing any Gabumons. I'm not playing any of that extra bullshit. What I am playing is my friend over here, Hawkmon. This card is the shit, and I kid you not. Hawkmon reads, for being a free type and a red Digimon, on play you can reveal the top 4 cards of your deck to your hand, and then you can add 1 2-color red card from among them to your hand, and then place the rest to the bottom of the deck. So how is this significant? Well, for one, Hawkmon lets you search for all of your pieces. That means you can search for your Imperialdramon. You can search for your Dino Beamon. You can search for the Dragon mode. You can search for Fighter mode. It lets you search for about 15 cards. It lets you search for all of your key pieces that you could possibly need in this deck, and he's just really good because he is a free type, so that you can add the Hawkmon. He is searchable off of Wormmon, and you can discard him if he is a brick in hand and you want to get more advantage. You can discard him for a Vmon. That way you can draw 2 cards. You can't really do that with the Gabumon. That's why I'm not playing it, just because it's not a free type. You can't really gain that much advantage from cards like that, so I'm not running them. So that's it for a majority of my rookies. I do have 3 more rookies at the end of the video, and I'll key you guys in on a little bit later on the spice. But for right now, that's all the rookies that we are playing in this deck. So let me know what you think about my spice with the Hawkmon down in the comments down below. So for the champions, I'm playing the standard 4 copies of Imperialdramon and 4 copies of the Shadramon. Now these are the only champions that I'm playing in this deck. No, I am not playing Eismon. I think Eismon is very bad, and I'm going to go on record for saying so. Why do I think that? Well, for one, he's not a free type. Two, you can't force Digivolve from one of these guys into an Icemon from the trash because it doesn't synergize with the deck. He's not a free type. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's a dragon type or some shit like that. So he's not a free type, so you can't just Digivolve from him into him from the trash to trigger these guys. Another thing is, we all know purple decks. Purple is immune to just jamming, especially when they're trying to go to the trash. And I'm just not a big fan on RNG on if I want to swing with my Icemon and hope that it hits the trash. That way I can draw 3 cards and then trash 2 cards. It's just not worth it. I don't want to get rid of, the stack that I've been building just to try and Digivolve into an Icemon on the hopes and dreams that he's going to get deleted. It's not going to work like that. It's not very consistent for your deck, and it's not really overall a good move for what you want to do. It just puts you behind and it stalls until you can do anything, and I'm not really a big fan of that. So I am only playing the dedicated 8 champions in this deck. When I tell you this deck is very good and it's very consistent, I honestly mean this from the bottom of my heart. I've been testing so many lists. I've been going on YouTube. I've been looking at everyone's list, and I am not a fan of any of those lists just because they are all the same cookie cutter deck that's not really doing anything. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, but this deck definitely needs to be broken down. That way someone can fix it, and I hope that I am that person. So I am wrapping up, and I'm getting off of my soapbox right now, but those are the champions that I am running in this deck. For my ultimates, I'm playing the standard 8 that you have to play. I'm playing the 4 Imperialdramon, the 4 Dino B. Again, with my Demi-Meramon suggestion, you'll be able to swing with your ultimates for 11k. You gain the 1k from the Demi-Meramon egg because you do have you're going to have a purple source in there. And then the Vmon gives you an extra 2k. So these guys will be swinging at 11k at security. That's very safe for them to be swinging without you trying to go into the dragon mode. That way you can do extra damage. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to be more aggressive, and we're trying to do a lot of things as much as possible, especially in those bad matchups that we do have. So for instance, if you are going against Melga, which this deck does have a bad problem with Melga, you can swing over the Metal Garurumon, or you can swing over the Were Garurumon with the Dino B and not die because you'll be at 11k. They'll strip 2 sources to keep it alive, and then from there you can go into fighter mode, you can go into dragon mode, and then your joggers into dragon mode. You can swing into it to delete it, and if it doesn't delete by then, you can just go and pierce into it again. You can go and just pierce into it with your fighter modes. So I'm just playing the 8 copies of these guys. And for my megas, of course, you have to play the dragon mode. This guy is the main thing of the deck. You gotta play him, and I'm playing 3 copies of fighter mode just because I have to. Then I chose to play 2 copies of DeathXmon. If you don't want to play DeathXmon, you don't have to. I just chose to play 2 copies of DeathXmon because I felt like this is a very slow deck. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This deck can be very slow, and sometimes you need cards that can make it equal for game states. And DeathXmon is that card, that equalizer that you need in this deck. Not only can you get DeathXmon back into this game with cards that I'm going to be showing you, but DeathXmon just helps you with some of those matchups that you will have problems with. This deck is very good against Jesmon. It's very good against Bloomlord. Just any deck that swarms the board, you're able to just either AoE kill it with your Imperialdramon, or you can just DeathX the board and just clear things that way. DeathX wins games, and I can't say enough about the card. It's really good. For my tamers, I am playing 2 copies of Tai Kamiya, and I'm playing 1 copy of Matt Ashita. And you're like, wait, why the fuck are you playing Matt, and why are you only playing 2 copies of Tai? Tai is just really good for helping us get those numbers for checks. If our Digimon is swinging for 18k at security, we would like to follow it up with security with more than just security attack +1 that we are already given from the Imperialdramon's effect. So with Tai Kamiya, you'll be swinging for 3 checks at 18k, and there's nothing in the game that can stop you by then. The reason I'm playing one Matashita is because, one, I'm not playing a purple base, so I do need some kind of recursion, and he does come up at times. Not only is he a memory setter just like Tai Kamiya, but he can also, he's a built-in calling from darkness, so that you can add back all of your dragon mode pieces, your Imperialdramon Diana B, your Wormmons, even your Death X mons. You can add those back, and I felt like, you know, in late game you do need those pieces. You will go through majority of your deck if you haven't already won, and on the offshoot that you need something that has already been trashed, you can play Matt to put yourself at 3 for the following turn, and you can add back that combo piece, that way you can go off for the further turn. So that's why I'm playing Matt Sheeta and 2 copies of Tai, and they do come up in security, so it's really good for those. For the options, I'm playing 2 copies of Gaia Force, 2 copies of Red Memory Boost. It's really good for consistency. The reason I'm playing Gaia Force is just for those matchups. Like I said, Melga is one of your baddest, your worst matchups. You need something to just delete the Wergarurumon. So being able to just hit a Gaia Force in security is really good. Being able to play Gaia Force in general from hand is just really good. Even though you may not want to do it, it is spot removal for the deck that you definitely need, because you can't just delete it with your Imperial effect, unfortunately. Now for the Spice, the Goo, I am playing 4 copies of For Master the Disciple and 3 copies of Sister Mont Blanc. So the reason that I chose to play these cards over something like Miss Memory Boost is very simple, okay? Alright, so this card has the potential of not only milling cards, but adding these, which these, if you've read the card, it's just Vmon in Sister Mon form. So I decided to run extra Vmon in this deck in the form of Sister Mont Blanc. Not only will you be pitching a card that you need in the trash, but you'll be drawing 2 more cards to help you turbo through the deck. And for Master the Disciple, it's just really good. You get to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you can add the Huckmon, Sistermon, or Digimon with Royal Knights in its traits. But since you're only playing 3 copies of the Sister Mont Blanc, you'll be milling a lot more than you are adding. But on the offshoot that you do come across one Sistermon, you're adding it to hand. You're looking 5 cards deep into your deck, and you're reducing your Digivolution by the following turn by 1, and these stack, so it's really good. I felt like these were a lot better than playing Miss Memory Boost, not only because it's a lot cheaper than Miss Memory Boost, but it also does a lot more than what you get from playing Miss Memory Boost in this deck, and I feel like that's definitely needed for what we're trying to do. And I just think that it's a better card. Not only can you activate it like first turn and kind of bluff your opponent into thinking that you're playing Jesmon, but it's just a really good mill engine for what you're trying to do, and I highly recommend you guys try out the Sistermon engine along with the Hawkmon. I'm not trying to boost Hawkmon sales by any means, but Hawkmon really does go with this deck, and it's just really good for what you're supposed to be doing, and it helps you search out your pieces a lot, man. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this list is very consistent for me, and it's been working a lot. I've been grinding like every day in Discord, trying to play this deck, wanting to add cards, wanting to take out cards. It's just a non-stop training. Some cards that I have thought about playing for complementing the Hawkmon is playing the Flamedramon from BT8. You can play this card. I've also thought about playing a Hawkmon, the vanilla Hawkmon from, I think it's BT2 or BT3. You can play that Hawkmon also. He is also a free type. Vanilla that you can just drop on the board for 3 memory. He's really good. But yeah, that's my take on the deck. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Is my list trash or is it bussin'? To the comment section. Let's start discussing. And if you guys wouldn't mind, Supreme Cannon in that like button, Transcendent Sword that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out for now. Bye bye.